Aloha, Dan McDonald here. I'm picking up from where I left off on the last video. Today we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do to support the healing of your autistic child and even yourself or anyone with autoimmune, cancer, thyroid issues, nervous system problems, and brain toxicity in general. So first of all, what I've got here is turmeric. And this, of course, is becoming much more well known as an anti-inflammatory. I've found that most people that I talk to are using too small of a dose to get an effect. I will eat a handful of this on a salad or in a soup. I also think that one of the best ways for me as an adult is to juice it. And I find that I get, this is 4 ounces is about where I get where I actually feel within about 5 minutes the anti-inflammatory effects of the curcumin and the turmeric. Now, again, I want to keep the dialogue open to all the moms and the dads that are working with autistic people or anybody with autoimmune that's making progress. We're slowly making progress by detoxifying our bodies. All these diseases, my friends, do not let the bamboozlers, the money makers, the death industry, I like to call it, just to be straight clear, they profit from death, fear, and ignorance, and they feed off of it. It is time that we rose up in power and empowered ourselves with the true divine knowledge of who we are and what we're capable of. So let's get smart, let's get aware, let's open up a dialogue down below and share in love the things that are working for us, new ideas. Let's get a community going here where we're sharing ideas, moms and dads connecting, and we're going to make a difference, okay? There's a nice oil, as a matter of fact, in the curcumin, and you find that when you juice it. It's orange and it's viscous, and it creates a protective coating between the nerves and the chemicals that are causing the irritation, the chemicals and the viruses. So those are a couple of the key words you're going to want to educate yourself about. Get a Google PhD like the old DTM. Get on Google. Although a lot of it's suppressed and pushed away, but it's out there, and there are clinicians and scientists and healers and doctors that are figuring this stuff out, and we're getting it out via YouTube and the internet. So keep searching for answers and opening up the door. And so if there's any creative ways that you moms have found to get the curcumin into your children, please share that down below. Here's a couple of the most important things when it comes to the autism. Okay, number one is the Life Biotic from Puridyme. And the probiotics what I've found with the probiotics is that they build a foundation for all the other beneficial microorganisms to proliferate. The microorganisms that are, number one, come from vaginal birth, number two, come from breast milk, and number three, and probably as we get more mature as adults, the true biotics is what I like to call them, that are on the plants. This helps to create a foundation where the pathogenic type bacteria do not have room to grow. So these beneficial microorganisms are very powerful strains that block out the ability of the pathogens to continue to proliferate and fill the cracks and crevices and release their inflammatory components. If the toxicity wasn't there, the parasites, the mold, the fungus, the yeast would not be able to proliferate because they live off of excessive debris. Believe it or not, the parasites live off of the heavy metals. And most of these anaerobic microbes live in a lower environment community. And so when you have mucus and heavy cooked foods and an excess of foods, those microorganisms can proliferate. So again, the oxygen is the answer. Okay, if you want to click off this video now, just learn the one thing that you need to know. Oxygen is the answer. But we want to purify the blood, and so we're starting at the gut. So these are Life Biotic, and I like to get them into the small and large intestine through food. Now, I make coconut yogurt. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. There's a secondary one which I think is super easy, and that is to make hemp seed yogurt. Hemp seeds, water, yogurt. Then you can take garlic, which I also think is good for autistic kids and everybody who's dealing with any kind of gut dysbiosis. Garlic, once you're super clean and healthy, fruitarian, liquidarian, it becomes less and less useful, but it does tend to build the healthy microorganisms and destroy the unhealthy. I don't know if your child will eat garlic or not. Of course, you don't want to overdose them, but if you take the hemp hearts and you take the probiotics and you make a yogurt out of that, what that does is it allows the and then you put that on vegetables, or you make a dip out of it, whatever your child will eat, or you can make a nice yogurt or put it on bananas or put blueberries in it or throw it into a smoothie. Once you've got these probiotics mixed into the coconut meat or the hemp seeds or the almonds or the Brazil nuts or pecans, then you can put it on food and get it down past the stomach acid. I had a consultation with a gentleman, and he was only giving his daughter 1 capsule of probiotic in the morning and 1 capsule of probiotic in the evening. Now, I don't know about you, but first of all, it's going to have not much of that's going to make it past the stomach acid. That's why I like to do probiotics with food. Now, you're going to be beneficial, the probiotics, for the esophageal microbiome. But if you take it in food, it'll get past the stomach acid and it'll go into the small and large intestines and inoculate. Doing 1 little capsule in the morning and 1 at night is not going to do it. You need to really saturate your child's gut. These are the purest, most powerful probiotics that we have available to us today. And so one thing I want to point out while it's hot on my mind is that enzymes work during the day, probiotics work during the night. So that's how we do it around here, and we're still doing it because we're on a growth evolution, and we use enzymes with our juice. We have 1 juice and we have 1 meal. So yesterday we just had juice, boom, boom, clean, clear, bright. Can you dig it, baby? That's not for everybody, I realize that, but eventually as you evolve, you're going to get there. Trust me, you're going to eat less and less and breathe more and more. Can I get an amen? Because oxygen is the key to this whole thing. Getting the oxygen into your child's brain is the key, so get them outside to play. But let's stay on this here. Enzymes in the daytime. Juice, because you know that from the pesticides and the genetically modified foods, it's blowing our guts way out of whack. It's destroying the healthy microorganisms in the gut, and then that knocks down all types of enzymatic activity, and then that leads to every kind of digestive disturbance, gas, flatulence, inflammation, colitis, leaky gut, and all that stuff. So enzymes during the day with some kind of juice. Of course, I'm going to recommend as much fresh fruits and vegetables as you can for your kids. We can get into that more later. And for everybody, fresh, organic fruits and vegetables. I've been saying it for years, and I've never been more right about it than ever before. It feels so good to know what I know. Okay, I'm trying to stay humble, but oh my Lord, if you knew the power of fresh fruits and vegetables, it would change your life, your skin, your hair, your teeth, your gut, your heart, your blood, your eyes, your ears. Everything would just be clearer and cleaner and energized and thin and light and bright. The fresh fruits and vegetables that grow in nature, organic soil. Amen. Believe that. If you don't take anything else from that video, take oxygen and fresh fruits and vegetables. And fresh fruits and vegetables contain a lot of oxygen. So get oxygen to your brain and your child's brain to help heal. So again, saturate with enzymes because, you know, there was a nice lady whose child could not talk, and she fed him some enzymes, and that day he spoke. And what that means is that, number one, the enzymatic activity in the gut is going to seep out into the blood, and there's going to be enzyme activity. In other words, substrates are finally going to be able to communicate, so biological processes can take place. Okay? And number two, enzyme is a blood thinner, which allows the blood to get deeper, where the children, they're like eating pancakes and God knows what. So the enzymes and the probiotics are two of the greatest tools that you have. I'll mention quickly Lypzyme, which goes along. This is just an amazing source of aminos. So again, you have those substrates. You have the substrates, and then you have the enzymes in order to make that happen so that they can start building serotonin and dopamine in their brain, melatonin, and all the other hormones, because these amino acids are very soothing. There's also a lot of vitamin E, as well as a couple of different strains of probiotics as well. So again, you're just strengthening and inoculating the gut. Okay. Next is, this is the barley grass juice powder. This allows, this kind of allows water and nutrients into the cell. So this opens up the cell. This opens up the cell. This barley grass juice. I don't know how you're going to get it into your child. Apple juice. I use coconut water for everything. There's nothing like the coconut, the water, and the meat. The meat is for the brain. You can see it in the Doctrine of Signatures. The coconut meat is for the brain, fresh. The water is just pure electrolytes delivery mechanism. So I use coconut water for all these, you know, except for this, the dose, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I use coconut and barley grass. Coconut alfalfa is another good one. I switch off between these two as the openers. These are the openers, the alfalfa and the barley, to open up the cells, to get the chelators up in there, to get the water up in there, to get the nutrients up in there, so that the system can open up and start dumping all the chemicals. There's an opening, and then there's a contracting, and you want to open up, and then you want to have the chelators available. And the two of the best ones, now, I love chlorella, and literally eat a whole bag. I don't really do that anymore, but I eat way more than the suggested thing. Now, I don't know if you're going to want to do that, but these are all so safe. They're so nutritive. There's no negative effects. So I've got chlorella. That's a chelator. It's going to pull after you open with whatever, apple, carrot, coconut, if you can get it. Now, chlorella, chelator, puller, high chlorophyll. Chlorophyll for the gut also destroys the pathogens that are making us all sick, because we're eating the wrong foods, thinking the wrong thoughts. We're damp, we're moldy, we're musty, we're not getting outside enough, we're not getting enough oxygen, and these pathogens are able to proliferate. Then they start to begin to control our brain. They say this is the second brain. I say this is the first brain. Because once you get this clean, like I have over the years, get your gut clean, your brain gets clean, and you can see things the rest of the world can't see. You're like, hey man, the emperor ain't got no clothes on, brother. And everyone's like, no, 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 because they're blinded by the dirt and filth and soot and seething bog of dead stuff being just constantly recirculated through the blood into the brain, and then it lowers the consciousness. You're looking at the ground thinking, if I get more money, if I get more stuff, I'll be happy. But it's never true. That carrot at the end of the stick. So cleaning out your gut gets you to where you're like, hey man, no amount of money can buy joy, baby. So go out to the beach and play like a kid again. Go dance and have fun with your life and be joyful. Then make money enough that you need more than you want, whatever. But just the joy cannot be bought. The peace cannot be bought. Next is spirulina. Oh baby, do I love some spirulina. Chlorella versus spirulina. Both, baby. Just go back and forth, man. Some chlorella. I just alternate. I alternate these two, the barley and the alfalfa. That's in the heavy metal detoxification program I've been working on for 2 years. And then right here with the chlorella and the spirulina, I just go one day on, one day off. Because it's a very simple program. 1 juice, 2 juice, 3 juice, and then the detox salad with the dulse, which is kind of the final chelator of the day. It's an amazing program, and it's got me next leveled. Thank the Lord for oxygen flow to the brain and the release of toxic chemicals and toxic fear and all that childhood trauma that we've all gone through, because love is here now for us. So spirulina for the brain. Also, man, if you're a bodybuilder or whatever, or just want tight ass muscles, boom, spirulina gets you tight. And you don't have to have no dead animal flesh rotting in your colon, causing things to be worse. You're going to be tight and clean with some serious protein right here. So this is the regular algae, which actually is really good, because this has more of the components that bring the body and brain. This is the supplement that I've taken longer than any other, probably for over about 21, 22 years. I started taking blue-green algae, and it's totally changed my life. This is Earth Circle Foods Dulse. So let's move on to that. This is the final chelator within the heavy metal detoxification program. And okay, good, 5 minutes left. That is just enough to finish with the dulse here, which can be used on salads and in soups. I actually do make a soup, and I use boiling water to make an herbal tea broth that helps to deliver with ginger and turmeric and a tiny bit of cayenne, if it's permissible, with some other herbs. And then you put the dulse in there, then you pour the boiling water over, and then you stir that up. But you can take the dulse in salads, is a really good way, in wraps. Heck, it is delicious by itself. So maybe your child will even chew on this. Now, this is an amazing source of minerals. And I think dulse is one of the greatest chelators of the heavy metals, because it displaces them. What you're doing with protocols like this is you're just saturating your body with things that it can recognize, things that it can use to displace. So there's no more space or place on the extracellularly for these metals to keep on being recirculated. So these chelators are pulling them out by displacing them, then the body has to get rid of them. And it's nice to go slow and steady. Okay, so dulse is amazing. Make it a part of your repertoire, because the mineral deficiencies are across the board. Finally, one of the most important, I guess it should have been over here in the line as a matter of fact, this is one of the ones, it kind of comes between, it's like in this category as an opener. The cilantro as an opener. It also has some pulling abilities, but the chlorophyll is amazing. If there's anything I would recommend, you know, I love all these things, but you can get cilantro. This stuff is awesome. Cilantro is awesome. Make sure you get organic. I will drink 4 of these bundles sometimes. You know, the average is probably 2, but I will drink 4 bundles in a 32-ounce jar of coconut water. So it'll be like this much cilantro and then the rest of it coconut water, and I love it. The chlorophyll, the minerals. If you don't like that, there's nothing else that quite works like it, except for maybe these 2 and a few other grass powders. Oh, I forgot to mention bee pollen. Awesome. Great for enzymes, protein, really a brain food for your child. Thank you so much. Peace.